Hello, it's kind of yeah. We're only here for a short stream today. Oh fuck, I forgot to do something. Yeah, only here for a short stream today. We've just recovered from a just recovered from a 5-day cyclone. So we are back finally. We've been, I guess, procrastinating a little bit, thinking up new ideas and just doing random stuff, but we are back. And today we're just doing a quick meditations video on that song was too loud. Yeah, today we're just doing quick meditations on exposure and avoidance based on social anxiety. And essentially saying how avoidance is one of the key maintaining factors to social anxiety. So we need to work through our avoidance mechanisms, our avoidance of the fear response to anxiety and situations, social situations, can result to other anxieties as well, and to rather expose yourself throughout time, or expose yourself to these fear responses, to these anxiety provoking situations, so that we may, there we are, slowly alleviate that fear response, which is formed through habituation. Habituation being the environment you're in becoming a habit. No, it's habituation being normalizing the scenarios. So we're habituated to this world because everything within it makes sense to us, it's normal for us, so we're habituated. But if something odd comes out of the blue, then it may provoke something within us because we're not used to it. So same with these fear-provoking situations, we can habituate ourselves to them, to giving a talk, to speaking to others, to all sorts of stuff, purely through exposure to it. The more we expose, the more it becomes normal to us. There's also a lot of other key features to overcoming anxiety and stuff, but today's exposure. And exposure's a massive one. Overcoming avoidance and idiot exposure. We also had this, we said it also relates to other anxieties as well, because we noticed throughout these past 5 days, the cyclone's been here. It's been pretty relaxing and everything. But then after being off meditation, reading, and I guess our normal habits for so long, you build that kind of anxiety that you're not doing stuff. And then that anxiety causes like a fear response. And then you don't want to pursue it, I don't know. Sometimes so overcoming that anxiety is kind of just exposing yourself to the things which you don't want to do, to the things which are causing that fear, and just doing it. And that's what brings us here today. Not that we fear ponder knowledge, but after a while, after not meditating for a while, sometimes we can fear not giving you guys the most susceptible information, not giving you guys information in an obtainable way, which isn't a nice feeling, like feeling slower and everything, But a lot of those perceptions which we play in our head, saying that you're gonna be slower and all of that, a lot of it's just perceptions we play in our head. So you got to expose yourself, understand that it's not as bad as you think, and get used to that exposure, get used to being in that fear, and over time the fear will dissipate, if that's the correct word. T8 of meditation, and today we're going to talk about exposure and avoidance in regards to social anxiety and other anxieties as well. Just going to pop all of this up. We've also got Shawnee that might join the call at some point. We were just speaking to him earlier, which is why we're on so late. So oh, this song is so peaceful. Anxiety is essentially a fear response within oneself. Within oneself, towards a threat or a perceived threat. Threat or perceived threat. Actual threat or perceived threat. Usually social situations are perceived threats. Most likely in this day and age, a perceived threat. And avoidance is essentially avoiding So yeah, we're mostly popping in to say hello today. So hello people. Sorry we haven't been on, but we are going to be back on. We're going to be back on a lot more, because yeah, we keep chucking routine out of whack a little bit, but it's all a work in progress. Everything in life is a work in progress. Don't stress yourself out too much on the journey, but know what you need to pursue and pursue it, I guess. I was talking with Sean earlier about value you place on things. Exposure. If you place value on, I guess, a substance, if you place value on a substance, then you're going to resort to that substance to be able to pursue your days. Such as cigars or something. You can think of people that smoke a lot. Their values placed on this cigar and how it helps them maintain their feelings or maintain their mentality in pursuing their day. If you place value on, I guess, living a fulfilling, healthy lifestyle, then you can place value in that and pursue that. But yeah, the value we place can usually overcome stuff, and a lot of people place value on substance. Marijuana, alcohol is a good example. We can place so much value on them that we overlook the other parts of our life, because to the threat is what we're looking towards. That's what we're thinking about. So that we it can be games as well, can be anything, really. Addictions and our fear response to it, or avoid the situation to escape the threat, so that we may lessen our fear. Avoiding exposure to the threat, so that we may lessen our fear response to it, or avoid the situation to escape the fear involved in that situation. In regards to social anxiety, this could be having to give a speech or giving a talk, and we find a way out of giving that talk due to the fear response it stimulates in our body. We don't want to feel that. We fear it, we amplify it, and we want to escape that situation. Escaping this situation, so the problem with this is avoidance is a key component to maintaining anxiety. So it's kind of twisted in that sense. So avoiding a situation, it will give short-term relief, but that fear response, when Essentially, yeah, I mean, we already said it. Exposure is essentially getting rid of that fear response through allowing it to be, exposing yourself to the fear response, which is scary for anxiety, but that's when we come to value again. It's the value you place on, do you value avoiding these situations for that short-term pleasure, or do you value, I guess, overcoming this fear and being able to navigate the way you want to navigate? Situation again will be more amplified because you, when encountering that situation again, will be more amplified because you avoided it last time. Essentially, the more you avoid something, the larger this fear response to it grows. And that is why we just keep on avoiding, because our fear continues to develop and those situations continue to be more fearsome. So we continue to avoid, therefore we maintain our social anxiety. Exposure is exposing yourself to those perceived fear-invoking situations. And exposure is scary for a lot of people, as it should be, or it shouldn't be, but it should be, because essentially exposure is confronting those events which we those events which we perceive as fearful or anxiety provoking. Nice. So yeah, distress short term if you decide to confront your fears, but alleviating suffering long term, alleviated anxiety long term. Or short term avoidance, which causes short term satisfaction because you get to avoid this fear provoking event. But long term, you're just going to. And exposure works on the foundation of habituation, which means the more we expose ourselves to something, the more we get used to it, and the less our fear response is stimulated, because we are habituating ourselves. We will set a new idea, or wait for thoughts. It's not really related to YouTube, it is, but pretty much it's related to Instagram also. Sometimes we cut clips from YouTube and put them on Instagram Reels, but we're thinking we might write in future, possibly. It's only an instant thought, but we're thinking we might do the meditation video on YouTube like this, as we always do, but then instead of grabbing a clip from the meditations, because I realize the meditations are they're if it's 6 minutes usually, then those 6 minutes will navigate the problem and ways around that problem and additional thoughts, whatever. Whereas if I put like a section, it only has a little snippet, and then it's kind of confusing, in all honesty. The mini, it doesn't get the whole picture of what we're trying to talk about. So thinking maybe we could just write our meditations for Insta, and then we can display the whole picture in a little paragraph instead of a quarter of the picture. Habituation can be seen when driving, because we are so used to the environment, because we are so used to the from habituation can be seen when driving, because we are so used to the environment. Habituation comes from habituating. Navigate the world without thinking twice about. Because we are so used to the environment, because we are so used to the world we live in and everything around us, nothing's out of the blue, we can naturally. Habituation can be seen when driving, because we are so used to the environment. Navigate the world without thinking twice about. We did a reset there, because we didn't explain it too well, so we reset. Habituation is explained by being so used to something that it no longer impacts you. It's a habit you perform. We are habituated to this world because the world we see before us, none of it's out of the blue. We're habituated to it. We're used to it. Habituation's cool. We also habituate ourselves to like drugs and stuff. And alcohol. Bad substances, they can be bad habituation. It's pretty much becoming a substance being normalized is bad habituation. Habituated to it, we're used to it, and we know how to navigate it. Though this habituation comes from just being used to the environment you're in. If we were in a completely different universe, different planet, and we were born on a different, we'll keep the alien species in there. This crazy planet with alien species, and we're part of those aliens, would naturally be habituated to that because that's what we're used to, that's what we know. So when it comes to exposure, it's habituating yourself to those fear-provoking sensations. You continue provoking sensations. And you continue to expose yourself until bang, 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 bang. Until that fear response is no longer there and the environment that you're in is a natural environment for you to be in. It was stated that literally exposure alone, there's a lot more to it, there's a lot of patterns of thought and everything which may need recorrelating, which we'll delve into, but exposure is key, because with just exposure alone, you will naturally get more used to the environments you're in. That's not what we say, that's probably what we should have said. We say something else. Continual exposure. Instead of using avoidance to avoid a situation, we expose ourselves to the situation on a continual basis to the point it becomes to the point it becomes habituated to us, normal for us. Through exposure alone, it is stated, exposure alone without any Papa Turtle. Nice, I'll unmute my friend. Hello.
Hey mate,
How we doing?
you would have had a chat to my dad about the
The what?
and there's
You cut out. I mean,
Okay.
I already know what. Any...
yeah,
What did
and
you
he
say?
said that there's plenty of really good like practical work that you do
You know,
in the course where you're just like learning,
anything.
like you like
is-
you go out there and you do the job. Obviously, you don't get paid for it, but it's just like experience.
You're like proper
And there's lots and lots
picking
of hours.
stuff up sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. So you'll
Yeah.
know whether or not you like it
Oh,
or
that's
not,
pretty cool,
and
yeah.
get a better understanding of it. Yeah, so I think that's
I
pretty
mean,
awesome.
in-field experience is probably the best experience.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Getting to actually see
Yeah, you get a
if
better
you enjoy it
understanding
or
of what
not
you're doing.
is Yeah. already going to
Mhm.
decrease your anxiety. And it kind of comes... So what are your thoughts? What's the
Yeah, I
course
reckon
and
I'll-
everything? Comes down to the value you
It's
place
just
on
a
things.
diploma of financial counselling. He called them and spoke to them. They said, yeah, you'll need a diploma in financial counselling.
Oh, yeah, is that online? Place on
Mhm.
things?
Yeah, it's online.
Because... Well, that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Takes the pressure off of having to, like, pretty much pack up your whole lifestyle to navigate studying from classrooms and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
And things. Because
So, and Dad's already
there's two ways to...
pretty awesome. Dad's literally like already like done all the steps to try to sign up before as well. So he's pretty across it.
Nice.
So I'll have a chat with him.
You'll be doing the course with him.
Yeah,
Already
mate.
gonna
He'll.
do-
I'll bring him upstairs and he'll be like, "Let's just do it together. It's a course I always wanted to do, and I get to learn."
You can learn together. He
Yeah, we
becomes
learn
your mentor,
together.
your financial mentor.
Yeah. I become his.
You become his.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
It's a
let
bit
him
of
watch the
practice
footy.
experience.
You'll do all the
Yeah.
you'll do all the study, mate.
Yeah.
Your writer's
Exactly.
assignment already gonna decrease your
Do it all,
anxiety,
mate.
and it kind of comes down
Bit
to
of
the
fun.
value you place on things. Because there's two ways. Well, it's good you had a chat.
Yeah. Oh, bro, I went to that
Just to go
meeting
back.
with my leader, and she's like, "Oh,
That anxiety, and one is we
I
continue
don't
to
actually have
avoid,
anything
and
to
we
talk about
continue
this time. Just like, yeah, it's just been set for every week, so we just go on here each week." Oh, okay, cool. See ya.
There's two ways. There's one meeting a week.
Yeah, one meeting a week to talk about our results of like an assessment being done on all the work we do
Wait,
against
how
like.
do you have one meeting a week and not have anything to talk about?
Oh, this is like. Yeah, no, this is like. So we have a
Basically-
a morning meeting every day.
Yeah, I know you get the morning meeting.
Yeah, but then this is our one that's like about our exact results of like assessments that have been done on our work against a very specific criteria, and then we get marked. We get like a mark from it.
Yeah, have you already received
And I don't-
those marks?
No. So I don't
Well,
know
they
how
should-
she didn't have any.
Yeah, I don't know how you don't. If you've got one meeting a week, then you should at least update them. You should be like, okay, well, you're doing this well, doing this poorly, you know.
Yeah, she spoke
least
in
give them
general
where they
terms,
are.
but like
Yeah.
it was like, oh, generally this is what we're seeing a lot of, which is, do this and do that. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm doing most of that already. And then she's like, yeah, but other than that,
Nice.
I'll see you later.
That's why I just say quick.
Yeah.
Happy days. We
Mhm.
continue to. We never navigate this
Yeah.
fear response we have,
That's
and
good.
we will always fear
Get over and done
those
with.
events which we stimulate anxiety in. Or we can place value on. Well, I won't be too much longer.
I got her to follow up on the bonus as well, which was good. That was the best
With
part
the other
of.
lady.
Yeah, it's actually
Yes,
a guy that's
overcoming.
handling it, and
Okay.
because he hasn't responded since last
Like,
week, she's
on
emailing him
ourself,
again saying, "Hey, just wanted to touch base, see what's going on with this one." So
Yeah, okay. Well, that's good.
yeah, she's
And
continually following up.
being
which
able
is
to
cool.
navigate environments and being able to navigate, yes, overcoming, like, on ourselves. Or we can place value on, I guess, overcoming, like, on ourselves and being able to navigate environments and being able to navigate our fears more easily. When we place our value on that, then exposure is the first step. There's rewiring the mind, but exposure. What do you think of this idea? If I can pass it by you, because it just was thought of this morning. You know how we do on Instagram, we do like reels, which are usually sections from videos. Well, the problem I have with them currently is that I kind of make it like, if a video is 10 minutes, it's usually because we're discussing, it's like the topic needs to be discussed for 10 minutes. So we usually go through the problem, go through how people, maintain that problem and all of that, and then we'll go into like, what can help, what can fix it and everything. So it gives you the full rundown of what you're working with. But when doing a reel on Instagram, it always seems very confusing to me. It seems like you can take away 10 different things from what's said, but it's just confusing. Plus they're long and they're wasted, it feels. So I was thinking, what if I was to do daily meditations, upload the video on YouTube, but then after those meditations for Insta, instead of like recutting videos and stuff and creating a more short, compact video that I usually struggle with and spend hours on, I can just write like a summary paragraph of pretty much everything talked about, and that can just go on the Instagram page. It can be like title, exposure, and then underneath just a short little succinct summary of what's being talked about and how to fix it, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So then each day...
Is that so you want to essentially stop the reels and then just put a post that summarizes what the topic, video, or meditation's about?
Yeah, and that can just link to the video if anyone wants to know more. Because then, I don't know, it just seems better.
Yeah, you could do that. Or like, what if you just, after you finish filming the entire video, just filmed like a short 30-second video of you verbally summarizing what that video is going to be about and making that your reel, so you don't have to edit anything.
True. Could do that.
I mean, either one work. It's basically the same thing. It's just whether or not do you want it to be a video or do you want it to be on the screen as just like writing.
Well, maybe I can do writing for meditations, and then if you want to watch the video, YouTube, but for topic videos we can add reels, so we keep reels going.
And to create those reels without having to waste time editing, you just spend 30 seconds filming a reel video where you just film that for the purpose of the reel.
True. Hold on. I'm gonna write that additional. Like a really quick summarize of...
Yeah. It's separate to the video. It doesn't always have to all just be one filmed video.
That could go pretty hard, honestly.
Save yourself a lot of time.
Usually in those, we go through paragraphs within those topic videos, so we can just be like quick recording. This is what the topic is. These are the things. Quick rundown of each paragraph, and then. Yeah. Well,
and then there's no editing, because the video itself is the video you're going to be putting up. I mean, you might edit if you don't like how it looks totally.
Yeah, cut little stuff up. And that'll be a lot easier, because I found the last reel I uploaded, I don't even think I uploaded it. Did I? I don't even think I did.
Didn't like it?
Well, maybe maintaining factors. I suppose editing another one though. No, I felt like it didn't make sense if I was to snippet one part of the video, because like I said, it's spread out for a reason. It's like to navigate the whole topic, or like at least part of that topic. So I couldn't just snippet a piece, so I ended up like pretty much recreating a whole 1 minute video out of that video, which took 2 hours, which I can't be bothered doing. Lazy? I wouldn't say so. I'd just rather use that time for something else.
Yeah.
To keep
It's just
learning
very
and not go
timely,
back on the
yeah.
information you've already got. But that quick little summary video for topics, that sounds awesome. And we can do a quick little paragraph for meditations.
Exactly. That'll be pretty cool. Back those up
Fuck yes.
and look at them. And it's going to be more
Efficient.
efficient, but
stop.
also
Notice-
for the viewer, it's more easily understood as well, because it's like, yeah, it can be a bit complicated trying to watch a 30-second video of what's something that should be 10 minutes and trying to like put it all into one.
Sure. It's not like summarized, it's just like a section which you don't
Yeah,
fully
it's one
understand
section.
because it's out of the blue.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would definitely do that.
taken out of context as well. It might be like
Yeah,
talking about one thing before, and then you're just snipping in this little portions. Oh, okay, wait, what's going on?
some of the videos of me being like, yeah, be present sort of thing, be very present in these situations. Like, yeah, what situations? You don't understand the situation because that's not in the video, which we've talked about for 3 minutes beforehand, but you can't see that. So you're just getting this random glimpse at, oh, okay. Just when you avoid... I don't know. I haven't been a fan of the reels, which is probably why I haven't been consistent with them.
Well, then if you do it
That's
this
a good
way and you
idea.
like what you're putting
Avoiding
out,
situations,
you might
avoidance
feel
is smart.
more
It'll tell you all
motivated
sorts
to
of things. It'll
put
tell you
more
reasons
out
why
as
to
well,
avoid a situation.
because reels are really beneficial to attracting an audience with the way that society is set up with short attention spans.
Short attention.
Yeah, so they're going to be very beneficial for the growing of your business.
That's why we thought the writing would be good, because instead of, you're not going to sit there and listen to someone for more than 5 seconds on a random reel. But if you see like a title, say social anxiety, and then you've got like a paragraph which summarizes what it is and like ways to get through it, just a short, very succinct, and then you can link the video. If someone like relates to that and they're like, okay, this could actually help, then they can go watch the YouTube. But it's so much easier to take in than listening to someone ramble about random shit, which you don't even fully understand.
That's true. Yeah.
And deep down, you'd know.
So that's why these a bit
anxiety
of both, a bit of what you said, which is putting it down and writing and summarizing the main takeaways from it.
Avoid those situations.
And then summarize videos that are specifically created just as like a once-off reel video that sort of also does the same thing to bring people in if they're better at visually seeing it, like with a person, because people will be different. So you're sort of getting both with that.
You're not wrong. That was a good idea. So to those situations, a little summarize. And
if you enjoy doing it,
I think we tried to do that on TikTok really early on, but we just didn't know what we were doing back then. You never really know what you're doing, you just keep doing it. And sit with things.
Well, you just keep growing.
Becomes normal to not know what you're doing.
Yeah.
No, not really. Anxiety. Because over time it will decrease. You don't need to be... We're talking about habituation in this video. Did we already discuss habituation earlier? Pretty much habituation is like normalizing yourself to things. So like this world, we're habituated to it because we're so used to what's going on. That's why when we drive, we can be so delved into thought, because nothing's out of the blue before us. Nothing catches our attention because we're so habituated. The environment's so normalized. Now we're talking about habituation in relation to anxiety. Is you got to habituate yourself to the fear response of anxiety through exposure. So if you fear a thing, you can avoid it and fear it further, fear the perceptions of it, or you can confront it, expose yourself to it, and over time, the more fear you undertake, in these, it will like slowly lessen as you normalize yourself to these situations. It's like if you jump out of a plane 100 times, the 100th time, are you going to fear it as much as the first time?
Yeah, not at all.
Yeah, it's just habituation. You
You're gonna love it.
normalize yourself to it. So that's anxiety as well. You got to normalize yourself to being in those situations. Be perfect at any stage in life, really, but
yeah, that's true. That's like the you see all those YouTube videos about people trying to overcome social anxiety.
Yeah.
And the way they do it is they just talk to absolutely everyone. And over time, they actually get excited to go and talk to strangers because the feeling you get from it is far better than being afraid to speak to anyone.
Yeah, it becomes a lot easier after you've done it for a period of time. Fear slowly goes away. Any stage in life, really, but just expose yourself to the environment, and it doesn't matter how anxious you are. We'll tell you tips about how to get through anxiety in future, but exposure is an essential step according to CBT. So that these environments we perceive as stressful can become a normal place for us. So it's kind of the value you place on things or on yourself. If we place value on, so it's kind of the value you environments and being able to navigate our fears more easily. When we place our value on that, then exposure is the first step. There's rewiring the mind, but exposure. Attempt to stop. Notice when you're avoiding situations, and avoidance is smart. It'll tell you all sorts of things. It'll tell you reasons why to avoid a situation when deep down. Me, Beans, and Tommy got to, I think we're up to the executioner. Which is, there's 3 bosses left in Act 1.
Jeez, you guys were going hard.
Yeah, I had to do 500 more punches this morning because of my new contract. Know when it's anxiety
you're
that
be punching a hole through a wall in a second. Hopefully, just not that monitor.
No, not the monitor. Attempt to stop. Notice when you're avoiding situations, and avoidance is smart. It'll tell you all sorts of things. It'll tell you reasons why to avoid a situation when deep down you know when it's anxiety that is making you avoid those situations. So expose yourself to those situations and sit with the anxiety, because over time it will decrease. You don't need to be perfect at any stage in life, really, but just expose yourself to the environment, and it doesn't matter how anxious you are. We'll tell you tips about how to get through anxiety in future, but exposure is an essential step according to CBT, so that these environments we perceive as stressful can become a normal place for us. So it's kind of the value you place on things or on yourself. If we place value on short-term satisfaction and avoiding these fear-provoking situations, then we are going to find that short-term relief, but we will never overcome that fear response. We will never work through anxiety. We'll rather just maintain.
5,840 if you pay up front, or 6,940 if you pay on a payment plan.
You reckon more expensive on payment plan?
Makes sense. They want you to pay instantly so they get their money straight away, or they get money straight away.
Isn't it usually the people in payment plans that are struggling financially more? So they could have paid more. Unloaded cobs. Taint it.
Yeah, basically. Hey mate, the people the organisation that owns the qualification don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
they probably own
they're
like
beaming,
qualification.
Yeah,
they're beaming.
Education
I love how
life and trying
she's contradicting. It's like you're doing a financial counselling course to help people.
That's
and the
their
people
business.
and the people that's struggling pay more.
Oh yeah, it is a bit all over the shit.
It's a bit like
where we
grey area.
Yeah, it's strange little. Unless it's like the provider of the, and so that we're not payment over time, but that doesn't make sense either. Stressing out, unless there is a provider, but it would be just the same people, wouldn't it?
Oh no, I think it's 6,940.
And fearful. If you place value on where we can, so that we're not stressing out and fearful.
So it's like $7,000 basically.
If you place value on wanting to overcome a fear response, wanting to overcome anxiety, then it is short-term distress. I know that's scary for people, short-term distress, but long-term completely rid of anxiety, for the most part, or completely diminished fear response to anxiety. So it's either short-term gain, long-term
Dad said I could be able to claim it as a tax
no
deduction.
improvements, probably.
So if I pay 30%
improvement.
tax, I'll get 30% back, basically.
Oh, 30% is pretty good.
Yeah,
Short-term distress,
6,940, you take that off my income.
confronting
and I
that fear
pay
response and
30%
being with it,
tax
sitting
off
with
my
it,
income. That
and
means $2,000 will
allowing
come off.
$2,000. That's pretty good.
Yeah, so now we're looking at 6,940.
And that to do its job on its own. The more we sit with it, the more we get used to it, the more we get used to those environments,
If I pay for
and
it
naturally
outright,
the more our fear response to those environments and our anxiety response diminishes over time with exposure. So attempt not to avoid environments that you fear, attempt to expose yourself and get used to them. Get used to them, and this just takes being in them. This come in them. If this comes to anything you feel anxious about, unless it's actually dangerous, but anything you feel anxious about, just start exposing yourself. Notice the fear response. Notice when you attempt to avoid those fear responses through procrastination, through all sorts of stuff, and work to overcome or expose yourself so that you may overcome that fear response. Almost done. Response. We will delve into, I guess, additional strategies to, I guess, help you actually in these environments going forward, such as mindfulness and stuff, and also the actual processes in your mind which are self-criticizing, self-doubting, and also causing an amplified state of fear, and also an
keen to
amplified
play Pathy with all the boys.
Fuck yeah. It's music to my ears, mate.
Yeah.
I'm prepping them for hardcore. I think Tommy could do hardcore already. Beans, on the other hand, Beans died every boss fight.
That's funny.
He was playing monk. He doesn't know when he just like face tanking everything. He just gets one shot every time. Like, what's Beans?
Moon thinks he's still playing World of Warcraft. He's like, oh, I should be OP.
I think he got
It's
killed.
not working.
He got killed by like the worm off the bat. Like
Not the
one of
worm.
the first. He died to the first boss, I'm pretty sure. So just fair. The first boss can be kind of deadly, but
No, you know I've actually died to that one a few times as well.
I've died to it before as well.
It catches you off guard. You're like,
When he like
"What's going
charges
on?"
you and fucking
Yeah.
smacks you in the face, you're like, what? Avoidance and
That's what Donkey Kong did to you, mate, when he did a backflip and threw you.
yeah, that was kind of messed up.
The backflip was insane.
I'm actually
what was
I'm
going
scared of Donkey Kong.
Mm.
I feel like none of my I feel like we can beat him. You're just gonna need a lot of health.
Yeah.
Beans is messaging me now.
You're gonna need Mitchell not dying at the start. Because you did no damage.
Oh, I
It's
was a
just-
warrior as well, yeah.
Yeah. Poor Mitchell got one shot.
It is funny. I am keen to see everyone in hardcore one day. No rush, but when people want to. Self-depreciate. I just want to see little Beans just get one shot. What's going on?
Yeah. That would be funny as. watching
There's a
Beans.
lot to come to Party. You know, we're pretty much playing a beta right now. And you know, when you ascend, you can get like 2 extra. When you like do that trial, you can ascend to 2 different places. Like your person can
Really?
ascend. Not places.
Yeah.
So you know how you like there's classes.
Yeah, 2 different tree lines you can go down.
Yeah. So apparently every character, when the game actually comes out or throughout, when it updates and stuff, every character's gonna get 3 things,
Mm.
3 ascensions. Plus, there's still, I think, at least 6 more characters to come.
Jeez. 6 more.
6
Holy
more.
shit.
Yeah,
That's
I was looking at it. I was like, holy, that's sick. And I think 2 are getting released pretty soon. I think there's a druid and a gladiator, possibly.
Druid. Yeah, Druid makes sense. That was in Celtic Heroes. They need a Druid.
Yeah.
Druid's gonna be a healer.
I'm pretty sure oh yeah, it could heal. I know it's a big
You know what?
bear as well. I know it's got like animal forms.
You know how cool that would be, bro? Because they haven't got a healer yet. Someone that heals everyone.
You're not wrong. You're
Just
like a
sits at the
cleric.
back healing. Yeah,
But
you
I'm
need
pretty
a
sure
healer.
there is like a cleric class or something. There's also an assassin class which will be coming out, like a
It's
shadow or
like
something.
rogue.
Which
Yeah, nice.
which will be like dash in and out, do high damage, but like don't get fucked up sort of thing.
Yeah, that's like
And
exactly rogue.
self-depreciating.
It's
as
like you
well,
go in
so,
there and then
yeah.
you pull out real quick because you have less HP, but your damage is insane.
Yeah.
That'll be awesome, actually. I
And
love
then
that.
all these
type of
classes will have 3 ascensions.
Pretty
Which
crazy.
means right now we've got 6 classes and we've got 2 ascensions for each of them. So we've got 12 classes. Later on we'll have 12 classes, 3 ascensions for each, so we'll have 36 classes essentially.
Holy shit! Yeah.
Yeah, that's good as. That's a start, and hopefully you got something out of it. If you're fearing something, and you value overcoming that situation, then attempt to start putting yourself through those little bits of habituation, those little bits of distress, which are going to alleviate that pain, that fear over time, until it disappears, and then you'll be like, fuck yes, I'm so glad I did that back in the day. Anyway, take care people, see ya. Hello, it's Connor here. Okay, video has been made.
They was showing me just normal counselling, and I was like, yeah, don't ever want to do normal counselling. I want to do financial counselling.
Normal
counselling
counselling?
is just too.
Like what I want to
Yeah,
do.
I don't. Yeah,
Fuck
yeah, I want to do.
We'll make ponder knowledge to get them, mate. We'll both release meditation videos every day.
You sick.
Yo,
Yeah,
What's going
bro.
on, Jerry?
you
Hold up,
guys-
let me wrap up this stream and then we'll be good. Oh yeah. Well, it
Found
seems
a new
like...
calling, Jared.
Hold up. Seems like the Discord's getting a little packed. And we've completed our little video for today, so yeah, we're gonna go off. We'll upload this video for you, and we'll be back to, we're gonna bring back the normal routine soon, and we're gonna be a lot more consistent in it. I hesitated because I know uni's coming up as well, so it's gonna be busy, but it's gonna be good. If you ever have any questions, anything to talk about, just let us know during the stream, leave a comment, anything, and it's awesome. But for now, take care people, and look after yourselves. See you.